What if the thing that you're most afraid of is actually the key to your freedom? Let me say that again. That thing that you've been running away from, failure, is the doorway to everything that you've ever wanted. But fear, it has a cost. Every time you choose to play small, every time you procrastinate on that dream, every time you say, I'll wait until I'm ready, you're not just avoiding failure, you're burying your potential alive. And this video right here is your wake-up call. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Miss Wangui Muithathi, your personal finance and investment coach, and welcome back to my channel. Let's talk about the silent killer, fear. Let me tell you about a lady. Let's call her Layla. You see, Layla, she had big dreams. She wanted to launch a social business that helped single moms become financially free. She had the plan, the talent, and the purpose. But just like all of us, she had that voice in her head. That voice that always questions everything you're about to do. Questions like, what if you mess up? What if people laugh? Or, what if you're not good enough? So, instead of launching, she waited. And all through her waiting, she was lying to herself while doing small things like tweaking her logo. She got to an extent of redoing her website. She went back to school for another degree. She waited, waiting for that time to feel ready. But ready never came. And that dream that she had, slowly and quietly, it died. Perfectionism and a tombstone called fear. Problem is, Layla is not alone. There are so many Laylas out there. You see, fear of failure doesn't always look like fear. Sometimes it looks like perfectionism or busyness or you just being comfortable or staying in your comfort zone. My big question is, why are we so terrified of failing? Let's go deeper about this. Let's talk about this. You see, fear, there's where it's coming from. It has a root because fear of failure is not just emotional. This is something that is programmed in us. From childhood, we are taught mistakes are bad. Failure is shameful. And success means getting it right the first time. But you see, all those are lies. Remember school? One wrong answer could make you feel so stupid. One failure, and all of a sudden, you weren't the smart one in the class anymore. So, as we grew up, we internalized that. And now, as adults, we flinch every time we try something new. We find ourselves equating failure with rejection. We equate mistakes with not being worthy. But here's the plot twist. You are not born afraid. You are trained to be afraid. All you need to know is, and understand, is what's trained can be retrained. This is where we choose to reframe everything. Let me tell you a quick story. Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times trying to create a light bulb. When asked how it felt to fail that many times, he actually said, I didn't fail 1,000 times. The light bulb, instead, was an invention with 1,000 steps. Talk about mindset. Here is the actual truth. You can either choose to fear failure or you can use it as fuel. Because failure is not the opposite of success. It's the price for success. You can't grow muscle without tearing tissue. You can't build a brand without rejection. And you can't lead a movement without messing up publicly. So if you're expecting something perfect, you need to change your mindset. But how do you move when fear still feels louder than your dreams? One thing you need to know is you're not lazy, you're not broken, you're just scared. And that is okay. It's okay to be afraid. But you cannot stay afraid. Here is how you break that cycle with strategies that actually work. 1. Redefine failure. Write this down. Failure equals feedback. That's it. That's the rule. Each failure gives you data, not an identity. 2. Tiny risks daily. Do you want to become fearless? Start by becoming slightly braver every day. Okay? Launch the post, send that pitch, speak up in the room, because courage compounds. 3. Get witnessed. Talk to someone who believes in you. And this is because fear thrives in isolation. So try your best not to isolate yourself. Okay? Your growth thrives in community. And 4, radical self-compassion. You don't need to be perfect to be powerful. All you need is to be willing. Okay? Be willing to do that thing that you've always been postponing. Sawa? You are allowed to be a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time. All along, embrace the journey. Let me take you back to Layla, the girl who almost let her dream die. 2 years later, she stopped hiding. She decided to launch her business with no funding, no fancy branding, just fire in her belly. Her first event had 5 people, but it's better than just having an idea in your head, don't you think? But today, she mentors over 3,000 women across Africa. And every time someone asks how she did it, she smiles and says, I failed again and again until I didn't. Truth is, success doesn't come from avoiding fear. It comes from dancing with it. Okay? Approach fear head on. Every step forward in your life will require you to disappoint your fears. That's the price for evolution. But what happens when you still fail, even after giving it your all? Because it happens sometimes. You need to know that there's freedom in failure. Here is another twist that no one tells you. That you will fail. You will fall. You will lose things. And sometimes, even most times, it will hurt. But the honest truth is, you will rise stronger, you will learn faster, and you will live bolder. Every version of you that was terrified to try will one day look back and thank you for being brave enough to actually begin. So, the real question is, will you die with your dreams, or will you choose to live with your scars? As for me, I'd rather fail 1,000 times than look back one day and realize that I never tried. And that's a feeling I don't ever want to feel. Fear will destroy you if you let it. I am Miss Wangui Muithathi, your personal finance and investment coach, and I'll see you in my next video.